Story 1. Am I the asshole for helping my child leave home and telling my ex-wife that she's the reason our daughter hates her? My ex-wife and I split about 6 years ago. We have one child together, Sarah, 18. Sarah is a trans woman and came out when she was 14. I'm extremely happy that she felt comfortable enough to be herself, but my ex didn't agree. She was happy when we thought we had a gay son, but she couldn't accept the fact that we actually have a daughter. When we first split, I moved into a crappy one-bedroom flat in a pretty rough area. I have since moved into a bungalow in a slightly better area. I didn't want Sarah having to come to that area. So she stayed with her mom, and I would visit her, take her out, and phone her every day. My ex was going out of her way to call Sarah he, him, and would use her old name constantly. She even went as far as joking about how it was just her luck that she'd have a transness for a child. However, though it was absolutely disgusting, Sarah told me it was okay, and at the very least she wasn't in any physical danger. I figured I'd deal with this until I found a better place. I'd offered to let Sarah take my room, and I'd sleep on the couch, but she wouldn't hear of it. 2 months ago, Sarah phoned me one night in absolute tears. She had been growing her hair out for ages, and at the rate her hair grows, it reaches just below her shoulders. She was thrilled that night my ex had offered to give her hair a little trim. She told Sarah it was to just cut off some of the dead ends. Sarah immediately said yes, as this would help tidy her hair up a little bit, and she had thought this was her mom's way of trying to accept her. She wasn't my ex, cut a massive chunk out of her hair, bringing it back to just above her neck. Sarah was absolutely gutted. She had been working so hard to get to that point. When she told me, I saw red. Over the next couple of weeks, I helped Sarah move her things into my house while her mom was out. We made sure we had all of her important documents and such, and then I went with her to tell her mom that she was leaving. There was an argument and a few insults thrown, but I got Sarah out and she's now living with me. We got her hair cut and styled into a pixie cut until it grows back. Last week, my ex posted on Facebook about her depression. She had been talking about how she had never felt so low, and that it was worse that she didn't have anyone at home who could comfort her when she was feeling down. In the comments, she mentioned that I brainwashed Sarah into hating her, and that if anything happens to her, then it's on myself and Sarah for leaving her by herself. I couldn't help myself and posted a lengthy comment about how it was her fault that our daughter hated her, and that if she had been a better mother, then maybe our daughter would still want to be in her life. Needless to say, I've gotten some backlash. Even a few of my friends have said that I was a bit harsh. I don't know what to think here. Edit. Okay, firstly, I want to say thank you for all the kind and supportive comments, especially in regards to my daughter. I have shown her this thread, and you guys genuinely don't know how happy you have made her. I am so grateful for that. Secondly, a couple of people have asked about what my Facebook comment said. I figured I'd copy and paste it from a previous comment. Some things have been changed, missed out for privacy reasons, but this is the gist of it. Just want to clarify for everyone reading this post that Sarah is staying with me. Of her own accord, my ex had her chance to treat her daughter with the respect she deserves, accept and love her for who she is, and make her feel safe in her own home. She has failed in every aspect. My daughter is staying with me because she feels loved, respected, and accepted in my home. I am not a perfect parent, and I am not claiming to be, but I, at the very least, work hard to make my daughter feel safe and loved, and would never go out of my way to hurt her and make her feel like shit X's name. If you are reading this, you failed our daughter. You made her feel unloved and unwanted in her own home. You made her cry. You made her feel worthless. You are the reason that our daughter hates you. Not me, not Sarah, you. Maybe if you just tried to be accepting and put even a little bit of effort into being a better mother, then maybe Sarah would still want you in her life. You screwed it up for yourself. That's no one's fault but your own. I am sorry that you are in a dark place, but don't you dare try to pin this on me or my daughter. As much as I am grateful to all the kind comments, I also accept that I am in the wrong for commenting in the first place. My ex used to do this a lot when we were together, making threats. When I tried to leave her, I shouldn't have commented, but I let my emotions get the best of me. Also, I have found out that her sister is planning to move in with her for a little while, just in case my ex isn't lying. I know it sounds bad, but I would rather she was lying, as I wouldn't like to see any harm come to her. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Anyways, apologies for the long edit. Thanks again, folks. Story 2. Am I the asshole for telling my ex-wife that she was the one who ruined our daughter's birthday, not our son? I have 2 kids from my ex-wife. A son, 16, male, and a daughter, 20, female. They're entirely different when it comes to academics. Our daughter did well in school, straight a student. She did sports and wants to be a lawyer. Our son struggles more when it comes to school. Doesn't do sports, doesn't know what he wants to do. Once he graduates, the two of them aren't close at all. It was my daughter's birthday yesterday, and we had a fairly large party for her. My side of the family, my ex side of the family, my daughter's friends. When it was time to cut the cake, my ex made a speech talking about our daughter's accomplishments and how she'll be successful in the future. At the end of the speech, she said something along the lines of, hopefully H name gets his act together and gets better grades, which made our son visibly upset. X noticed that our son was upset. She continued to push the issue, saying that she was worried and that he wouldn't have a future if he kept this up. By then, the party was already tense. Some of the family chimed in and took my ex's side. My son was arguing back and insulted his sister in the process. The party was ruined at this point, which upset our daughter. After the mess ended, my ex-wife came to me saying that we needed to get our son's jealousy issues under control because he shouldn't have ruined his sister's birthday. Like that, I reminded her that the party wouldn't have been ruined if she didn't bring up our son during her speech about our daughter. She claims I'm making things worse. Most of my side and her side of the family side, with my ex saying my ex didn't ruin it by being a concerned mother. I don't see what they're concerned about. Our son is on track to graduate. His grades are just average. But I have all these texts saying my son needs to apologize or that he needs therapy for the insults. He said to his sister, "Am I the asshole edit?" After insulting his sister a lot, my ex asked if he cared about his sister at all, and he responded saying he didn't, and that he didn't care if she lived or died. That's why they think he needs therapy. Edit don't know how my daughter feels about the whole situation. She didn't say anything as she left the party, and she is answering my texts or calls right now. Story 3. Am I the asshole for telling my wife? It's fault. Our son doesn't like her. My wife and I have twin boys that are 12. My sons have always liked me more than her, and it is because she is overly aggressive and dismissive of them. It is an issue I have brought up with her countless times over the years. She says she isn't, but she obviously is, and even other members of our family have commented on it. If the boys play too loudly, she freaks out. If the boys are in the middle of a TV show and she decides she wants the TV, they have to get up immediately. She scolds them over the smallest things, like not having spotless bedrooms, forgetting to put the toilet seat down, wrestling even when it's outdoors, not closing the bread and tightly enough for her liking. She is always looking for a reason to yell at them. The thing is, they aren't even bad kids. In fact, they are very well behaved. Both get great grades and participate in extracurricular activities. They do not deserve the treatment my wife gives them. Ever since I started working from home after COVID, I have always had to protect them from her and overcompensate for just how aggressive she is with them. This has caused them to gravitate towards me and basically steer clear of her whenever they can. She started taking the afternoon shifts at the hospital a few months ago, and the boys have been so much happier with her, not around. It honestly makes me sad how negatively she impacts them. Well, on Friday, her and I picked up the boys from school, and they told us about a class field trip they are going on towards the end of April. The school wants all the kids to bring a parent, and the boys were insistent that I go with them. When my wife offered, they got visibly upset and said they'd rather have me. I told the boys not to be rude, and we will have to check our schedules. When we got back to the house, my wife started talking to me in a very bitter tone about how I'm the favorite and the boys hate her. I told her this was because she treats them poorly, as I've told her dozens of times before, and that if she wants them to care about her, she needs to be better. She got really upset at this, obviously, but she needed to hear it. She went to the bedroom and locked the door. I just let her be and ended up playing video games with the boys. About an hour later, she came out and said, "Of course, you're all just sitting around." Instead of checking in on Mom, we didn't say anything, and she ended up leaving the house. She does this sometimes as she does have some mental health issues that she is medicated for. So we've learned the best strategy is to ignore her when she gets like this. When she came back home, she didn't eat the dinner I made and slept on the couch. All weekend, she kept to herself. And this morning, she told me that what I said to her was completely wrong and I needed to apologize. I did, but told her the sentiment was truthful and it's something she really needs to work on. She says she doesn't and she parents the kids just fine. I told her, just because you don't hit the kids doesn't mean you treat them well. And she once again got really upset and is once again ignoring me. I feel like she needs to hear this over and over until it gets through to her. And this has been going on for so long, I feel I need to be more blunt with her behavior. Am I wrong for telling her how I see it in this manner?